Hard body, you looking soft. Running your mouth from hooking off. Spit that sick shit, whooping cough. Exhaust the floss, toss the boss. Shit cost. Get in my head, you'll get lost. You don't see the judge, you see the magistrate. Don't study me, dog, you won't graduate.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Today we're going to take a look at some aftershaves coming to us from a company called Fine Accoutrements. And the reason why I was interested in this company is because getting back into the wet shaving game, I was really interested in looking at the top artisan houses. So like Phoenix, Artisan Accoutrement, Katie's Bubbles, Tiki Soaps. And when looking into aftershaves, the two brands that I really felt like got the most positive feedback were Phoenix and Fine. So you saw I did my video on Phoenix. I reached out to Fine as well, and Fine was nice enough to send me samples of all of their aftershaves. And before we get into them, let's get a little bit of backstory on Fine. So Fine Accoutrements was started by a gentleman named Todd Cerami, aka Mr. Fine. In 2005, he was reading an article about the benefits of traditional wet shaving. At the time, he was in finance. And he started wet shaving and realized that there were some real benefits to shaving the old-fashioned way. It was less expensive, more effective, and it felt like it turned a chore into an enjoyable task. And that's exactly how I sort of look at it as well, and I think that's how most men make the tradition or make the transition to wet shaving. He realized his favorite part of the experience, though, was applying the cooling, wonderful smelling aftershaves. And his favorite one, and the one that really inspired him, it's inspired quite a few of these artisan makers, was the very, very famous Alt Innsbruck from Austria. That's an excellent aftershave, and he loved the simplicity of that one, and he felt like he could make something that simple, hopefully lower the price, and so he set out to do that. And, you know, he made some stuff. He was on a Reddit group, sent samples of those products to the people on the Reddit group, and the rest, as they say, really is history. He was able to leave his job and become Mr. Fine, focus on his company full time, and man, has that company really just blossomed. He has a shaving soap out now. He has a wonderful looking shaving mug that really is made for the wet shaver in mind. A lot of mugs that guys use are sort of like salsa bowls or gravy bowls. This one has like ridges in it for the lather to stick to. It has a nice little thumb loop so it won't slip out of your hand. It has a place for your lathered brush to rest. It's just really ergonomic and made really well done, that shaving mug. And he also has a shaving brush. And then what he started with is this absolutely fantastic collection of aftershaves. So we're going to go through them quickly. Each, he sent me samples of all of them, as I said. These are half-ounce bottles. And on this site, you can purchase 7 ml samples for $2.75, which is like such a great deal, or 100 ml bottles for $15, and that's a great deal as well. Now, I've used each one about 2 to 3 times. I think I have a pretty good feel for Fine aftershave, so let's go through them. The first one, American Blend, is the one that you see all the way on the left. The description on this one is that this is their flagship. Quite literally captures the scent of shaving, reminiscent of traditional canned shaving foam, inspired by YSL Rive Gauche. You guys know that's one of my favorite scents. Consists of a fern base, accented by geranium, lavender, oak moss, patchouli, and a hint of gaiac wood. And yeah, I love this one. I really enjoy this one. It does smell like a Rive Gauche. Actually, though, guys, to me, it smells a little bit more like Lolita Lampica's Au Masculin. I just get, for whatever reason, a really nice anise note out of this one, some licorice. It's really sort of just clean. It's got a sweetness to it. It does have a fougere vibe to it. It's a beautiful aftershave. So that is the American Blend. Next one is the one after American Blend. You see there, Fresh Vetiver. Fresh Vetiver, the copy is a modern scent for the vintage soul, perfect for today's traditional wet shavers who wish to add a dash of sophistication to their routine. And Fresh Vetiver was inspired, again, this one here, inspired by Tom Ford's Gray Vetiver. And this one has vetiver, citrus, spices, and wood. And yeah, this is awesome. It really is sort of a fresh and light, uplifting vetiver. You know, Tom Ford's gray vetiver is so nice because it does have that citrus punch to it, and this has that as well. So it's an excellent vetiver aftershave. Third one, probably my favorite, is called Platinum. Copy on this one is Platinum is perhaps best described simply as the smell of success, and there's nothing better on the day of the big meeting. Inspired by Creed's Aventus, the scent complements a spicy pineapple top note with a smoky oak moss base note to create a fragrance that has quickly become a modern classic. Now, guys, you know me. I have Aventus. I really like Aventus. I've reviewed Aventus. I have every Aventus clone from Unpredictable Adventure to Insurrection Pure, and this is as good as any of them. It really is reminiscent of Aventus. You do have the pineapple in this one, but then you've also got the woods in there as well. Just a great aftershave and very close to Aventus. So I'm really impressed by the Platinum one. And fragrance guys who are into wet shaving or aren't into wet shaving, this is the aftershave you want to wear if you like Aventus. Next one up is called L'Orange Noir. The copy on this one is L'Orange Noir was inspired by Terre de Hermes and is a scent that defies categorization, a totally unique yet thoroughly sublime blend, pairing fresh orange rind with rich earthy minerals. And yeah, so if you guys don't know what Terre de Hermes, most of my fragrance guys do, but for wet shaving guys who don't know Terre de Hermes, it's a Jean-Claude Elena fragrance. Jean-Claude Elena is currently the in-house nose at Hermes, but he's retiring that position and ceding it to Christine Nagel, who's going to take over very soon. She's already started doing their home fragrances. But Jean-Claude Elena sort of has this MO of doing these fragrances that combine citrus with very earthy or herbal notes. So he did bergamot for a different company like that. He really started with Declaration for Cartier, which is an orange fragrance that has cardamom and caraway and cedar in it. He's done Bigarade Concentré for Frederic Malle. His signature to me is orange with earth. And that's really what Terre de Hermes is. It's probably the best-selling Elena fragrance ever, and this is really reminiscent of that. You definitely get that nice orange peel in it, but then you do get the sort of earthy minerals in this. So really nice compliment to Terre de Hermes L'Orange Noir. Next one, Clean Vetiver. Copy on this one is a distinctive yet versatile fragrance that makes for an ideal signature scent. This one is inspired by Guerlain Vetiver. The accord opens with a wisp of citrus, which immediately complemented by a soapy vetiver base note and hints of tobacco. And yeah, so Guerlain Vetiver, for people that don't know, is probably the most critically acclaimed and best known men's vetiver scent of all time. My two favorite vetivers personally are Vetiver Extraordinaire by Frederic Malle and Vetiver Extrait by Roge and Dove. But both of those are hundreds of dollars. So Guerlain Vetiver is a very classic men's vetiver scent. One of the first scents to do vetiver was citrus, and this is definitely in that style. You get the vetiver in here. It's a clean, green, grassy vetiver, but then you do get that beautiful citrus pop in it as well, and it does have sort of a sweet tobacco base note. A lot of soapiness to clean vetiver. Great aftershave. The last one you guys see here is called Snakebite, and the copy on this one is billed as the original Burn and Quench. Snakebite contains no fragrance oils, but 5 times the menthol of our modern aftershave formulation. The resultant tonic burns like the devil, freezes like the Rockies, and cures all that ails you. Apply sparingly and away from women and children. I'm just going to give myself another dab of this one. So yeah, this one doesn't really smell. But for the guys out there who really like those cooling and toning aftershaves, like the great Osage, or Osage, this is going to be the one for you. It's really got that menthol dialed up. It cools and burns at the same time, but I love this one. I love getting that burn. I'm one of those crazy guys who will take the Osage and put a big puddle in my hands and sort of rub it all over my face. And yes, it hurts like hell for a couple of seconds, but it leaves my face feeling really refreshed and clean and just healthy after. And Fine did a great job here capturing that in snake bite. So it's got a lot of menthol in this one, but it's great. So what's my takeaway on Fine Aftershaves? Well, these are awesome. And I think for me, what they're best for, I really still haven't found that aftershave that, yes, can just be a cologne for me, and I don't have to go to the cologne. The closest I've come yet is Phoenix Accoutrement. But what I really like these as is because I either own every scent that Fine based these off of. I kind of like these as layering agents. So I really like wearing the American blend with Rive Gauche or Sartorial or Invasion Barbar. I really like the Vetivers with my Vetiver scents. I love the Platinum with Aventus. So these are great to layer on. They're great to use on their own. If you're a guy that doesn't like the idea of having a strong fragrance, linger around all day, but you want to enjoy all the wonderful scents that people in the fragrance community do, well, check these out, because these are as close to anything as I've ever smelled as the great fragrances in Fragcom, and the prices on these are just stupid. I mean that in a good way, of course. They're just dumb, like how cheap these are for the quality you're getting. You know, I told Todd, and I'm going to say it here, that I love what he's done here. He has a real talent in blending. I think his real talent, though, you know, assessing this as someone who smelled thousands of perfumes and worked with perfumers, I think for me, his real talent, he's got a real knack for making clean fragrances. You know, none of these, even Orange Noir, which is supposed to be earthy and a little dirty, they all have just this beautiful clean quality to them. You know, the bottles are clean, the liquids are all crystal clear. I just think these give me an impression of clean, really clean. What I told Todd, though, is I would love to see him just say fuck it and make his completely own unique composition to him, something that he wants. I hope that comes down the line. I would love to help you, Todd, if you want to collaborate on one. But this guy does a great job. You know, at the end of these, I like to say buy, try, or pass. Buy, guys. At the price that he's selling these for, $15, buy multiple ones. If you really want to test them out, see how they work on your skin, pick up a bunch of samples for $2.75. But I am giving the cosign on these 100%. These are absolutely fantastic aftershaves, as good as I've ever come across, and I really can't wait to keep using these. And you can bet your ass, as soon as I get through some of these, I'm going to be buying full bottles of them. So want to thank Fine for the generous samples. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. We, of course, will be back with more videos this week. If you have any questions about fragrance or wet shaving, please feel free to reach out to me at maxmno@gmail.com. Guys, you know what it is. My name is Maximilian.
In the night, like nights with the chrome on. Fuck around, my peoples might double down. Put a couple on your crown when we hustle through your town. My strong hand and knuckle every clown. Move in silence and muffle every sound.